Cheerio, welcome to London. We are in a happening city and I cannot wait to cruise around and head outside, check out some castles, and of course Stonehenge.
And I'm really excited to dive into the history of rock and roll music and have a little afternoon tea.
Little cup of tea. But there's a lot to see here, and in order to do it, we need to head out right now. London is one of those cities that just gives you energy. You see these black cabs everywhere in London, but actually to get in one and cruise around is such a fun feeling.
I didn't realize until I got here how much music came out of London, and it's absolutely incredible to be around this. See those people crossing the road? That is Abbey Road.
Perfect time to roll up on Westminster Abbey. I love hearing those bells. This is incredible. This is Windsor Castle, and it actually is the largest and oldest inhabited castle in the world, and it's cool to think that people still live here. And what I just saw was the changing of the guard. It's something that you only see like on TV and the news, and you come here and like, wow, these guys really do this.
Do you have any Harry Potter fans here today?
It's time to check out film locations from Harry Potter. This is so cool. I didn't know this existed in real life. Platform 9 3/4. This is where Harry Potter and all of his buddies would push, boom, and magically go through the wall.
I'm now at the Tower of London, and this place is gigantic. This is your proper medieval castle, and you can imagine what it used to be like. That castle is very impressive, and now it's time for a little cruise down the river. We're going down the River Thames, and this place is amazing. All the major sites are right along this river.
The London Eye is the granddaddy of all Ferris wheels. You don't even really feel like you're moving. You feel kind of like you're floating, and all of a sudden you're at the very top and you can see miles and miles away. Bath is the quintessential English town. It has so much to see and do. The Roman baths are absolutely stunning. These are actually the best preserved baths in the entire world, and they are incredible. You can actually try some of the water that comes from the spring. Cheers.
Afternoon tea is such a great tradition. You know, you're having this tea with sandwiches and pastries, kind of this relaxing way to spend your afternoon, and it's kind of a little pick-me-up.
Stonehenge is definitely a magical place. It's beautiful, it's creative, it's everything. And you know what? I hope they never figure out what it's all about. I like that it's a mystery. What an incredible place.
This trip has been amazing.
We're coming back, right?
Yes, and we are gonna miss it a lot.
Oh, we're gonna miss London so much.
You will absolutely love this city.
Copenhagen sits on the east coast of Denmark, a country that consists of the Jutland Peninsula and a series of small islands. Separated from Sweden by the Øresund Strait, this Nordic city is Denmark's capital. With cutting-edge restaurants set amidst cobblestone streets and picturesque canals, Copenhagen is a perfect combination of fairy tale magic and modern-day cool. There is no better way to understand the city's charm than with the uniquely Danish word hygge, which describes a cozy and soulful state of mind. It is a word that you can't quite put your finger on, but you'll know it when you feel it. And in Copenhagen, hygge is everywhere. Hygge can be found in the candles that brighten the windows and the warm sense of enchantment that fills the streets. It can be found in the colorful wharfs, the city's beautiful gardens, and as the sun goes down, it can even be found in one of Europe's oldest theme parks. One of the very best ways to enjoy Copenhagen is the way most locals do, by bicycle. The city is laced with almost 250 miles of bike lanes, and cycling is a way of life for all ages. Head to Nyhavn, a 17th century waterfront and canal district that is full of color and character with its many bars and cafes. Enjoy a meal at one of the restaurants, or grab a drink and watch the boats glide by. Visit the Little Mermaid, one of Copenhagen's most recognizable characters. Created from a story by Hans Christian Andersen, she's just a short stroll away from the wharves. Discover real-life royalty at Amalienborg, home to the much-loved Danish royal family. Catch the changing of the guard ceremony, which takes place every day at noon. For more fairy tale magic, head to the Tivoli Gardens. This park has delighted generations since 1843 and holds a special place in Copenhagen's heart. Take a ride on one of the oldest operational wooden roller coasters in the world, or spin through the sky in the towering Star Flyer. Watch a pantomime, ride a dragon boat, or enjoy the Tivoli's stunning gardens. For a little more nature, take a picnic and enjoy Copenhagen's many other green spaces. Visit the Botanical Gardens, which are close to the center of town and famous for its historic glass houses. Hip, charming, or just plain magic. However you define Copenhagen, it is easy to understand why it regularly tops the list of the world's happiest cities. Like the fairy dust that seems to be in the air here, hygge may be hard to define, but it's easy to feel. So slow down, relax, and enjoy the beautiful moments this city has to offer.
Amsterdam is a compact city, so it's easy to navigate to all the tourist hotspots. But to get the most out of your stay in the capital of the Netherlands, here are the top 3 ways to get around town. Amsterdam is known as the Venice of the North, so taking the scenic route through over 160 canals is a great way to check out the city. From boat level, you'll even get to see a whole new set of architectural details, like the ornamentation on the bridges. Hop on a canal bus or take a canal tour to check out the city's monumental buildings that frame the canals. Hop off at a dock close to major attractions like the Reich Museum and the Leidseplein. Discovering Amsterdam by foot is also a top choice. Most of the attractions are within walking distance from each other. You can easily walk from the Dam Square to the Museumplein in 40 minutes. Not only a great way to get fit, but by walking through the narrow alleys and cobblestone streets, you'll find random art installations and hidden architectural gems. This is a city that rewards the aimless wanderer. Amsterdam is bicycle mad, with over 600,000 bikes and 249 miles of bike lanes and paths in the city. The bicycle boom in Amsterdam started in the late 1800s. And since then it's been a favourite form of transportation, not only for the locals, but also for tourists. Rental companies offer a range of bikes, from the granny bike, the cargo bike, and the 4-seater bike. Once you're up and rolling, you'll see the city from a whole new angle.
I love the hustle and bustle of Amsterdam, but I'm excited to check out this quaint little fishing village. Now here's an interesting fact about Holland. Almost half of the country is under the level of water. So the houses in the old days were built on stilts. The ones behind me here are no longer on stilts, but you can see the doors are on the second level because they had to be raised above the level of water. I gotta say, these little fishing villages are really, really cozy. It is lunchtime, and when you're in a fishing village, you gotta eat fish. And check it out. This is some haring, which is herring, and you gotta eat it like this. Tastes so good. This is how the locals do it. We are now in Zandsens. It's a hard name to say, but what really matters is they have a clog factory where they show how to make clogs. This is the home of the windmills, and they have a cheese factory.
You can try all the cheeses over there.
This is my favorite part of the tour. We get to try out cheese. I love cheese. Check this out. I bet you didn't think that there was a museum dedicated only to clogs. Well, there is, and this place is awesome. I've learned how they actually make clogs.
My machines nowadays, less than 5 minutes.
Check it out. It does not get any more Dutch than wooden clogs with a windmill on the clogs. 2-in-1, baby. Behind me you see some of the giant windmills, and obviously they are some of the national symbols of Holland, but there's a lot more to it than just that. You see, the windmills are responsible for pumping out all of the water and creating a lot of the land where the Dutch now live, so they owe a lot to these beautiful windmills.
Bonjour and welcome to Paris. As we all know, Paris is famous for cheese, chocolate, wine, and bread. And of course, some monuments like this behind us.
I think we're gonna have a great time here, Asha, but if we don't go right now, we are gonna miss it. So let's go. Everywhere you go, there is something to look at. It is stunningly beautiful. The Citroën car ride is such a rush. We're seeing all the major sites, Champs-Élysées, Notre Dame, everything you could ever want to see, and you're seeing it in style. Let's go check out this thing. Eiffel Tower, baby. You have a view of everything. The church over there at Montmartre, the Seine River, the boats going around. It's a beautiful, clear day. This is one of the most relaxing boat tours I've ever been on. And my favorite part is looking at all the people along the banks of the Seine River, drinking a bottle of wine, holding each other's hands. There's a lot of love in this city.
I'm just outside Paris in Giverny, which is famous because Monet lived here, and I'm gonna go check out his gardens. I understand now why he was so inspired. These gardens are beautiful. I feel like I'm walking through one of his paintings. I'm in the Garden of Versailles right now, and this place is gigantic.
Riding a bike around Versailles is probably the best way to see it, because when you're on a bike, you can actually go to all these hidden pockets and fountains. You can ride down the Grand Canal. Awesome. Can you smell that? You can't smell it, but I can. I'm going into a bakery to meet some people to show me how to make baguettes and pastries. And it is so incredible to watch each one of these guys work their craft. And it does look like art. Art that you can eat is the best kind of art.
Wine tasting tips.
Being at a French wine tasting where a sommelier is teaching me about the wine makes me feel much more empowered when I go to a restaurant now. I've never experienced something like Paradis Latine before. They're colorful, they're flying all over the stage, they're kicking their legs into the air, and it's such a spectacle to watch. This place is classy, it's romantic, and it is picturesque.
It is everything I thought it would be, and I am gonna miss Paris. We are definitely coming back. Au revoir.
Welcome to Barcelona. We're really excited to be here, and especially to check out some of Gaudi's most famous architecture.
And also go to the Barcelona football stadium, ride around on scooters, maybe go to the beach. This is gonna be a great time, and it's time to go. I've been to a lot of European cities, and Barcelona is by far the most lively. Yeah, baby! I absolutely love riding this scooter around Barcelona. I have never done anything like this. Wow, look at that! La Sagrada Familia. This is Gaudi's final opus.
You can't come to Barcelona and not think of Gaudi, and behind me is Park Güell, which is one of Gaudi's most famous attractions. I feel like I'm in this magical world of gingerbread houses, this very cool style. I can't wait to eat this. It's so fun to be able to learn how to cook these traditional Catalan dishes. The teacher is great. We're all working on different kinds of projects. Some people are working on desserts, some people are cutting the fish up, so it's like this team effort for dinner.
Riding in that helicopter is a rush, and I get to see the entire city from above, and it is absolutely stunning. Sitges is paradise. The city itself is so cute and medieval looking, and then you walk a few blocks away and boom, there is the most beautiful beach you've ever seen in your life, and everybody's out and about having a great time. The winning goal, baby! Champion! This stadium is the most visited tourist attraction in all of Barcelona. It was pretty exciting to see this stadium from a fan's point of view, but being down here on the grass is absolutely incredible.
The flamenco show is one of the best shows I have ever seen in my life. It is so much intensity. It's almost like you don't even exist. You're just experiencing this whole entire dance and music with them.
I am absolutely in love with this city. It really has it all. It has the sunshine, it has the beaches.
I think my favorite parts have been learning how to cook some traditional Catalan food, also seeing flamenco live.
And my favorite part was probably scooting around town and just seeing all of Gaudi's masterpieces right above me. That was awesome. Barcelona, we are definitely coming back.
See you soon. Buongiorno and welcome to Rome.
This is one of the most lively capital cities in all of Europe, and it's full of food and culture and some serious ancient history.
And there is a lot to see and do here, so we gotta head out now. Rome is such a unique city. On every single block there are ruins. This is the Pantheon. I mean, I've seen pictures of it, but the pictures just don't even do it justice. It's so impressive to see these modern buildings mixed with ancient ruins right next to each other.
Wow, this is amazing. You really get to see how big and majestic Rome is from this spot. Definitely the best view I've seen of this city.
Oh my God, I wish you could see this. In the distance you see only St. Peter's Basilica in like the same shape. It's gorgeous.
Wow, look at this. I am now inside of the St. Peter's Basilica, and this place is gigantic. Behind me is the entrance to the Sistine Chapel. This is where Michelangelo's painting, the famous painting, Touching the Fingers. And it is one of the most majestic things I've ever seen in my life.
We're headed to the Spanish Steps, which is where Romans and tourists hang out. It's the best place in Rome to enjoy a gelato. Very excited! Strawberry and chocolate, it couldn't be better than this.
Grazie. Death by chocolate, right here. Wow, it's the Colosseum, check it out! Inside the Colosseum, I'd say is actually even better than the outside. I'm told that about 50 to 80,000 people were in this stadium, all cheering on their favorite gladiator. And the floor was made out of sand, and the sand was used to absorb the blood.
The food in Italy, of course, is some of the best you'll ever have. This right here is the Rolls Royce of meat. Delicious.
You ever heard of Ben-Hur? Right here. 300,000 people would come here 27 centuries ago and watch chariot races.
Grabbing my chariot, also known as the Segway.
Baby, here we go. Green lights. This is the life right here. Seeing Rome on the back of a Vespa.
You can't go to Rome without seeing the Vatican, and there it is.
It's crazy to think that there's a country right here. Now I'm in Italy, now I'm in the Vatican City. Roma, grazie. This was an incredible experience. It's definitely one of the best cities on the planet.
It's been amazing, and I absolutely love the food here, as well as the Trevi Fountain.
For sure. And this thing right behind me, the Colosseum, is definitely my favorite. Ciao.
One of the most historically significant cities on the planet is Athens, Greece. Your cruise expert can create a dream vacation to this remarkable city. Athens is the capital of Greece and is known for hospitable locals, mouth-watering Greek food, and is home to 2 UNESCO World Heritage Sites. Our journey begins at the Parthenon. Over 7 million people visit the Parthenon and the Acropolis each year. That's why we recommend you visit as early as possible in the morning. This way you can beat the heat and the midday crowds. We suggest you plan on spending at least 2 hours to see the most famous sites. In 2009, the new Acropolis Museum opened. Today, it houses nearly 4,000 artifacts. Browse the galleries, ask questions of the guides, and stay for lunch in the cafe. Just to the north of the Acropolis, you'll find the ancient Agora of Athens. The literal meaning of Agora is meeting place, or assembly, or marketplace. This was the center of political and public life in Athens. The Agora was used for commerce, political, religious, and military activities. Just think of the greats who walked here: Socrates, Plato, Aristotle, and perhaps soon to be you. Close by, you must make a stop at the Temple of Zeus. Each column is 57 feet tall, and only 15 of the 108 columns remain standing. You'll also discover a recently excavated bathhouse as well as the Arch of Hadrian. Here's a tip: for the best panoramic views of the city, climb to the top of Mount Lycabettus. It's the highest point in the city, standing at 908 feet above sea level. You can hike or take the funicular. That's the lift. For those who love to shop, Athens has distinct districts dedicated to a variety of designer apparel and shoes, handcrafted goods, and unique art and souvenirs. The Plaka is the oldest historical neighborhood of Athens, and it's called the Neighborhood of the Gods due to its proximity to the Acropolis. When you leave there, head to the flea markets of Monastiraki and be sure to visit the designer boutiques in Kolonaki. Greater Athens is home to over 4 million residents. And when you visit, you'll feel the warmth of their Greek hospitality. Speak to your cruise expert about including this ancient city on your next dream cruise vacation. Your cruise
Today, I'm going to do the Prague in 1 day sightseeing tour. It's going to be a jam-packed day. Culture, architecture, and a little bit more. Martina is my guide. Are we ready?
Yes, we are. Let's go.
Let's do it.
Let's do it. Well, welcome to the Prague Castle. We're standing in front of the St. Vitus Cathedral.
From the outside, this place looks like it'd be dark, but it is so full of light here. It's really beautiful. The Prague Castle complex is huge, and there's all these fun places to explore. Right now, I'm in the same area where the guards used to live. So this is what we have here is a medieval head squasher. Now we are headed to the most beautiful view of Prague.
On the left-hand side, there is the St. Vitus Cathedral. We were up in the tower with a green roof.
It cannot be more beautiful than this. This is as beautiful as it gets, right?
Yes.
This is awesome. Pretty cool. I think it's an A+ as far as giant cuckoo clocks go. This is the place to be in Prague. I'm on the Charles Bridge. We have a fantastic view of the castle behind me. There's live music, there's art, there's paintings, there's people from all over the world on this bridge. There's so many things to look at. This is my favorite spot in Prague.
So this is the John Lennon Wall. This place was selected in 1980s as a place for local people to make a memorial for him.
John Lennon the man. Martina, I'm loving these little cobblestone alleyways. These are all over Prague?
Yes, it's a typical sign of a historical city. Little, narrow, winding streets.
I
You can easily get lost here.
We did it, Prague, in one-day sightseeing tour. That was amazing, Martina. Thank you so much.
You're more than welcome. Come back again.
I will be back.
The beautiful city of Vienna was the capital of the Austro-Hungarian Empire and home of the Habsburg family, who wanted their city to be the most spectacular. And as a result, the entire city is dotted with grand old architecture, green parks, magnificent castles, and chic shopping promenades. Vienna is truly a beautiful travel destination, so make sure to watch our video guides at vidtour.com and get great ideas for sightseeing, family attractions, nightlife, and more. Let's start with some of the landmarks that you must see when you visit Vienna. The first one is the Hofburg Palace. This huge palace with its 2,600 rooms served as the home of the Habsburg dynasty for more than 600 years. The National Library and the Spanish Riding School are also located on its grounds. If you have only a few hours to spend here, then joining a guided tour is a good idea. Next is the 900-year-old St. Stephen's Cathedral. Entrance is free, but if you want to climb the 343 steps to see the stunning views of the city, there is a small fee. Climbing the cathedral tower is not the only way to see the city from above. You could also visit the Prater Amusement Park and take a ride on the iconic Ferris wheel, which was originally built in 1897. Another option is to visit the observation deck at the Danube Tower, which is the tallest structure in the city. Why not get even higher than the observation deck by visiting its restaurant or cafe and enjoying a cup of famous Viennese coffee? The Ferris wheel and observation deck are two extremely popular attractions for kids, so check out our Vienna for Kids video for more ideas on how to plan a family vacation in the city. Another thing we strongly recommend is to spend an evening at the opera or a classical concert. In the city of Mozart, one can listen to a world-class orchestra or find an opera almost every night. The city center is packed with Mozart lookalikes selling tickets. However, you should book your tickets in advance to get the best seats. Another idea would be to combine a concert with a dinner and take a tour at the Habsburg summer home, the Schönbrunn Palace, or catch the world-renowned Vienna Philharmonic at the legendary States Opera. You won't be disappointed. Finally, let's talk about nightlife in Vienna. The most popular place to look for a bar or a restaurant would probably be in the Old Jewish Quarter, in an area called the Bermuda Triangle, which is probably connected to the fact that strange things may happen when you've been drinking. Check our website for more tips and ideas about Vienna's nightlife.
Home to more than 3 million people, the German capital Berlin is a city with a bright future and a dark past. Located in the northeast of Germany, the city's spent much of its life in the crosshairs of history. It's seen the rise of fascism, been bombed to bits, ripped in half, and finally reunited, and that's just in the 20th century. Now, more than 2 decades after the fall of the Berlin Wall, an influx of artists, musicians, and designers have turned the city into one of the most creative places on the planet. After 17 years of discussion, planning, and construction, Berlin's Holocaust Memorial was finally opened in 2005. Visitors are invited to make their own way through the somber maze of columns which honor the murdered Jews of Europe. In the center of Berlin, The old Jewish quarter of Mitte forms the city's historic core and is now full of indie stores, cafes and designer boutiques, as well as classic examples of East German architecture. The edgy and unpredictable district of Kreuzberg is where Berlin gets its street cred and boasts some of the best nightlife in the city. Low rents in Berlin, a spirit of tolerance, and a willingness to experiment have led to an explosion of galleries, guerrilla clubs, and confronting performance art. It's also turned Berlin into the European capital of weird sports. The city's chess boxers combine brains and brawn by fighting one round in the ring and the next on the chessboard. And its natural-born golfers have abandoned traditional fairways and reimagined Berlin by turning the entire city into a giant golf course.
Hello Jet Setters, and welcome to another edition of Jet Set List, Warsaw Guide, 7 things to see and do in Warsaw. Warsaw is the capital and largest city of Poland, making it a great place to spend a few days, so let's get started. First on the list is Old Town. The physical history of Warsaw is limited to the relatively recent, as most of the center was destroyed by the Nazis during World War II. When rebuilt, the Old Town was rebuilt reflecting construction from the 13th to the 20th centuries. The reconstruction was so meticulous that it has gained a spot on the UNESCO World Heritage List. Make sure to check out the Royal Palace, Old Town Market where you'll find the Mermaid, which is the symbol of Warsaw, the Maria Curie Museum, the Historical Museum of Warsaw, and St. John's Cathedral. You can follow your nose around the area, or feel free to take one of the free walking tours. The Copernicus Science Center is our next stop. In enjoy the day at this modern museum with over 450 interactive exhibits, a rooftop garden, and planetarium. It's easy to spend several hours here. Tickets are available online if you can read Polish, and might be a good idea as there can be a large queue at times. Tickets are 16 zloty discount or 25 zloty for regular. Worth noting is close by is the University Library Gardens. Here you will find one of the largest rooftop gardens in Europe. Łazienki Park is the largest park in Warsaw. Its centerpiece is the Palace on the Water. This is a picturesque area with boats and peacocks. Warsaw Uprising Museum is one of the most popular attractions in Warsaw. It details the Polish uprising against the Nazis in 1944. Some highlights include a B-24 replica, scale model of the Warsaw sewer system, and the Kubus armored car. Tickets are 14 zloty. The Warsaw Zoo is located on the east side of the river and tickets are 10 zloty. Come see over 500 species of animals from around the world. The Palace of Culture and Science is Warsaw's Empire State Building. See a beautiful panorama of all of Warsaw from the 30th floor. Tickets are 18 zloty for adults and 12 zloty for students. Kate counts the numbers as we ascend. How many times per day must this happen? Will this poor elevator operator be able to endure this torture?
20, 23, 24, 25, 6, 7, 8, 9, 30.
Eat and drink in Warsaw. Warsaw is an international city with cuisines from all around the world. For a taste of local flavor, you have to get the Zurich. It is a sour rice soup made of meat and egg. Pierogi are Polish dumplings. Feeling more adventurous? Why not try the beef tartar? This dish is made from minced raw beef and is typically served with raw egg yolk, onions, pickled cucumber, pickled mushrooms, and seasonings incorporating fresh ground pepper, salt, mustard, Maggi sauce, or ketchup and Worcestershire sauce. Just because it's winter doesn't mean you can't enjoy your favorite adult beverage as well. Try some hot beer or hot wine. Hot beer is made of beer, sugar, ginger, nutmeg, cinnamon, whole cloves, honey, and egg. Sure to warm you up on any cold winter day.
Уважаемые москвичи, жители Подмосковья и гости столицы, здравствуйте! В многомиллионном городе все убрано, чисто. Люди с превеликим удовольствием приходят и отдыхают. Приглашаю вас посетить нашу столицу, дорогую нашу Москву.
Москву, потому что она предоставляет огромное количество возможностей для дальнейшего роста и развития в карьерном и личном плане. Всегда кипит жизнь, люди никогда не спят.
Люди кажутся очень замкнутыми, такие все в себе, но начинаешь с ними общаться, они открываются, и по сути все очень дружелюбные. Город многонациональный, многоконфессиональный, и это чувствуется вообще во всем. Россия славится своими красавицами, и Москва, как столица России, является таким сосредоточением, концентрация красавиц здесь на квадратный метр просто зашкаливает.
Something though I fight it. It took a while for the medicine to sink in and blow out the fog and remove all the cobwebs. Now I'm clear, I can hear myself think straight. I'm on the road with my clothes in a rucksack over my shoulder, following the whispers. People ask me where I'm going in such haste, and I say.
Самые две крутые вещи, которые мне здесь нравятся, это МГУ, то есть вот сейчас где мы, и метро. Метро как музей, а МГУ это просто отдельная вселенная, здесь своя атмосфера. Это очень старое место, оно монументальное, огромное, с богатой историей, как отдельная планета.